Okay, welcome everyone. I'm going to go through the questions for this spreadsheet, and we are going to change the spreadsheet to look like the one that we got from the instructions. Okay, first instruction that we normally come across when we edit a spreadsheet is to change the header or the footer to be according to the question. So if this is question 5, then I will go to insert, and then I will look for header and footer under insert. So I'll click insert, and then I go to header and footer, and then it will activate my headers and footers. So on the header and footers, what I'm looking for is the question number, and the examination number. So now you see that it is the header, and my work is not here for now, because the header and the footer, when you activate them, they actually split your work into pages, and your cursor might go to another page which doesn't actually have your work. So you look at the scroll bar here at the bottom, and then you scroll left, then you will see your work with the header again. So this is where you make changes in the header or in the footer. If it's in the footer, you just click in that header and click design, and then you go to footer. Then it will take you to the footer in case if you were supposed to make changes in the footer. So now I will click go to header because I'm working in the header to make those changes. Then after making changes according to the question that I have to put, and the examination number, which is your own ID that you will put, and then after that, now you will have to go and edit the spreadsheet. So before you edit the spreadsheet, make sure that any changes that you make, your page should always be on a normal view. So when you go to view and you click normal here, then your page will be on a normal screen, meaning that your header and footer will only come out when you print. You don't have to see it as you are working. So most of the times when you work, while the header and the footer is showing, when you click on your work, you will see that it will select two cells at the same time, because you are actually working on a page that is not on a normal view. Okay, so the first thing that we do now is the header. This header must be merged and centered across A to G. So when I merge and center, I will click merge and center under home, and I click merge and center. Then you realize that it is centered. The instruction in your question paper will further tell you that it should be right aligned. So we have merged and centered. All the cells in row 1 are merged, but we have to make sure that the heading is right aligned. So when you say merge and center, it will just put it at the center. Then we continue and check the alignment and put it right by clicking right align. Then it goes to the right. Then we check our row 3 and 4 vehicle type, highlight row 3 and 4 at the same time where you see vehicle type, because we are going to merge these two cells. Then you go and click merge and center, and then you will see that these two cells are merged. Then the text inside, which is vehicle type, has to be centered as well. So we are going to click the alignment and make it middle centered. Then you see that it's in the middle of 3 and 4. That is actually what must happen. Fatalities must also be merged and centered. We highlight with the row B and C together so that fatalities will take these two. Then I click merge and center. Injuries, highlight, then I click merge and center. Then they are actually merged and centered, just like that. Then you just make sure that the font looks like the one as instructed in your question papers, so that you don't miss any mark when it comes to font and font types. So let's look at the calculations. The first instruction for the calculation was when you had to calculate difference in fatalities. Okay, firstly, let's go to the instruction 5.7.1. It says difference in fatalities, number of injuries minus number of fatalities. So when I click here, number of injuries minus number of fatalities, you don't use function. You don't use a function. You don't write sum, you don't write average, you don't write any other function. You just put an equal sign, and then you click the first one that you were given, you subtract with the other one. So we were given a number of fatalities, and then we are going to, number of injuries, we are going to subtract with number of fatalities. So number of injuries is there it is, then we are going to say minus. So you see, I didn't write any sum function, so you don't start with sum, because sum means that you are adding things together. So here we write it plain as it is. The one that you are subtracting, you will click it after the minus sign. You start with the one that is given minus the other one. You just click plain as it is. Then we will click there where it says number of fatalities. Then I click there, you see there it is. It's simple calculation. When I press enter, I get my answer there. So when you click your answer, you go to that top, bottom right corner. The plus, the plus sign will show. Click, hold, drag down until it autofills so that you get all your other answers. Then we go to the second calculation where they say anticipation decrease. The calculation requires you to multiply, and then you must use absolute cell reference. So if the instruction says number of fatalities multiplied by anticipated decrease, there it is in row 2, which is going to be your 11%. So this 11% is going to be multiplied by a number of fatalities. Number of fatalities, we have it there, it is. So number of fatalities multiplied by anticipated decrease, cell B2. So I go here, then I will say equals to, then number of fatalities, I click it, then we multiply it by, meaning that we will say times, and then I click 11%. Now for this 11%, which is B2, it must be an absolute cell reference. So I press F4 on the keyboard, then it changes to be dollar signs, F4 on the keyboard. Then when I press enter, the answer will come. Then when I click on the answer to autofill with the plus sign showing when I go to that dot, then drag down, it will show me the other answers without any error because I've used F4. If you get an error while you autofill here and you get a hash value, or the others are just saying a hash name, is because you are not using F4. You ignore the instruction that said use absolute cell. Alright. And then now when we go to our calculation number 3, it's when we are going to get the total number, sum of fatalities and sum of injuries, the number. So when I go to sum of fatalities, when I click there, here, that is when I can say equals to sum. And then sum, then I highlight all the numbers, close bracket, and then I get the answer there. Then I go to number of injuries, again equals to sum. That is only again when I can use sum, and then I highlight all the numbers, close bracket, and I get my answer is 18,870. Then calculation number 4 is when now we are going to get the average difference in fatality injuries difference. So when I go here, I go here under difference in fatalities, then I can say equals to average. You see now this is the only time where I am using functions. Equals to average, highlight all the values there, close bracket, enter, then I get the answer. And then the highest percentage of injuries, is when I'm going to calculate number 5. Highest percentage of injuries, there it is. Then it means now I'm going to use another function equals to max. Open the bracket, highlight all the values, close bracket, enter, then it will give me the highest percentage. Then lowest number of injuries, smallest number of injuries, which is calculation number 6. Smallest number of injuries should be calculated here. Then I will calculate it by saying equals to mean, open bracket, then I highlight all the values for injuries, close bracket, and then enter. So when you look at all these functions that I've used, They will work better for you if you watched the video that I once spoke about, where you learn about the basic functions for Microsoft Excel. You can go back to my videos, you will see that video and watch it, so that you will never forget how to use basic functions on Microsoft Excel. It will help you even for other calculations that will come after this one. So thank you for watching this part. Then I will load another video soon to explain further on graphs concerning the same spreadsheet. Enjoy.